This video right here is definitely not a fun one to make. For me personally, for a lot of gamers, and for a lot of game developers who've been making New World. New World is officially basically maintenance moded with an eye of shutting down either within 2026 or maybe early 2027. No more content is being added, that's confirmed, and more importantly perhaps, a lot of developers have lost their jobs. Let's talk about what's going on. For me personally, this is kind of wild, right? I've been covering New World since before it came out, so over 4 years now, and the game that I have enjoyed the most in that time is by far and away New World. Yes, it's had a lot of problems and we'll talk about them in a minute, but this has been posted in-game right here. There's also a very similar worded thing on the website that they have, but it basically says, we regret to announce that the Nighthaven update will serve as the final content release for the game on PC and console. No more content is coming to this game. Now, the servers are not actually shutting down, but without content, the play numbers are going to shrink very rapidly. In fact, that's probably already started right now. I have a trillion tabs open, so I do apologize about that, but you can see where the announcement was made and the incredibly sudden dip. I would expect over time the play numbers are going to reduce and then they'll, get rid of the servers. Now on the website there's actually a little bit of extra information, so we'll just quickly jump through this. They repeat that it's the last content update. New World Nighthaven was free, Rise of the Angry Earth was free for all PC players. You already had it if you had the console version. But they do also say that it's their intention, rest assured our intention is to keep the servers operating through 2026. Now, through you could argue is like into 2026. People are interpreting that to mean to the end of 2026. But without content, it won't really matter, right? People are going to probably stop playing a game when there's no more content. And they do say that actually they're going to provide at least 6 months warning before they make any changes that impact your ability to play New World Eternum. That's basically, saying if we're going to kill the game, we'll give you some warning. So what's happening is they're not making any more content, but we aren't shutting down the server. So it's not officially actually dead, but I mean, it's as close to it as you're going to get before the servers get absolutely wrecked. They do say you'll be able to still buy Marks of Fortune, buy the actual game, although on Steam right now you can't buy the game. And there's a warning on Steam. Can I actually show you that? Yeah, like if you go on Steam right now, it shows you there's an image that says effectively the same thing that it says in game. And there's no option to buy the game right now. And this is incognito mode, so I don't know why it wouldn't show me that. Not sure what's going on there. They said you'll be able to buy it until further notice. Maybe that notice is right now. Apparently it's still available on the website, but yeah, I don't know what's going on there. For the players of the game though, they do say there will still be bug fixes and stuff like that. Not a lot, but just enough to keep it running smoothly. Now you might be asking, why has this happened? And that's where it gets a little bit sadder really. If it was it's already sad enough as it is, but it gets even sadder. There's a lot of posts that all basically say the same thing, so we're not necessarily going to read through them, but basically Jason Schreier posted an article on Bloomberg. He called it yesterday that said there would be 30,000 layoffs. Amazon confirmed today it would actually be 14,000 layoffs across Amazon as a whole. But he said that it's significant cuts to its video game division, moving away from MMOs like New World and gutting its Irvine and San Diego studios. Irvine, I think, is where the predominant work was done on New World and Lord of the Rings. And indeed, Lord of the Rings is also gone, cabooshed, squatted, kiboshed. That's slightly unsubstantiated. There was a lady who worked at Amazon who's had to change her post, so she's actually removed this bit. But she said she was laid off from her fledgling Lord of the Ring game, which you all would have loved. Sounds like that's not being made anymore, basically. So Lord of the Rings is probably dead. New World is dead. They're moving away from the MMO gaming industry, basically. And we believe that pretty much all of Irvine and all of San Diego are gone. There's a couple of people who are staying, like, for example, Katie, who is the current lead of New World, basically. She appears to be still there. In fact, she tweeted this and she said, "I'm still here pushing buttons." She's probably overseeing its demise, basically, I would assume, right? Because the servers are going to be kept up for a little bit, so they need somebody to kind of keep running things, I would guess, right? Now, why are Amazon getting rid of 14,000 jobs? Well, the why is unfortunately diabolical and something that is basically a universal threat to humanity at the minute. That sounds a little bit dramatic, right? But I kind of mean it. We have AI. They just basically say, we're moving into AI. We got the generation of AI. It's the most transformative technology we've seen since the internet. And I kind of agree with this, right? I mean, obviously, I think we can all see what AI is doing. We're all kind of on board with it. Well, I'm not sure we're on board with what it's doing, but we all understand what it's doing, right? We all see the power of it. But a lot of us also see the threat of it. Job losses are definitely part of it. Now, I'm not going to turn this video into AI versus humans, basically, and what we should be doing in the future. That's like a geopolitical, economic thing. But Amazon just straight up blame AI. And then they say they're going to be making like AI casual games, and they've got the Snoop Dogg game that they're apparently making. I mean, I don't care about those games. I obviously don't care about them, but that's what Amazon want to do. I think it's a terrible thing to be. The messaging is terrible, but that's the way it is. If you're wondering why I'm kind of slurring my words, I streamed earlier today. I went out with my family, and then I came on, did a long stream. I'm absolutely shattered, but you know, I just want to talk about this news, and I think it's very important. And obviously, my heart goes out to the devs who've lost the job. That's obviously first and foremost. Now, for the gaming industry or Amazon games specifically, I don't know if you saw March of Giants, but March of Giants is actually staying. That's the MOBA that they made. They had an alpha. I think they call it like a successful closed alpha. You know, they seem to be happy with that. And then they've got the studio releasing the Snoop Dogg game. And they're going to do like Luna games. They're still going to publish Tomb Raider and the upcoming open world driving game by Maverick Games. But yeah, that's basically what's happening at Amazon. I've never seen a game or a company do this. Like, we were literally, like yesterday we had 41,000 apparently people on Monday night. That's just on PC, and we can assume maybe approximately double that. Well, let's say equal to that on console as well. So maybe we were around about 80k. And I've never seen a game with that many people just get absolutely killed overnight. Like, I'm not sure it's happened before. Some people have tried to give some games, but I was like, they were sort of trailing out. But this is gone. And why is it gone? It's not necessarily because of the performance of New World. Obviously, New World had massive issues when it launched. I mean, if we scroll back all the way to like max, we will see the incredible drop off, right? And you could argue that if New World was like a top 3 MMO and it achieved all of its potential, maybe it wouldn't have died, and maybe that's true. But the reality is, I think Amazon as a whole, not Amazon Games, have just decided to say, right, that division, gone. Now, obviously, if it was successful, they probably wouldn't have done that, but it's obviously failed enough. But it's failed in a way where like it still had the players, right? Like it wasn't like a big failure. It just wasn't as big a success as that they demanded. And the corporate greed is just like, yeah, that's not good enough. Let's get rid of your jobs. And it's kind of sickening, right? Obviously, it's common in the gaming industry, but it's kind of sickening. And now it's literally like it's literally past midnight, and we have a lot of players. They're just out here, stood on the rock. All of us with our camps just completely put out there like it was the start of New World. It's a very sad day for the players. You know, there's people like myself, I'm over 5,000 hours. There's people over 10,000 hours and so on. And this is happening on pretty much every server. We feel the end, right? The servers are pretty much going to get closed at some point. They're basically saying, we'll give you 6 months warning before we close it, but we're keeping them open right now. It's effectively the end. And for me personally, I don't know how much you guys care about me personally, that's fine. But for me personally, I was sort of planning my way out of New World. I was more fatigued with it than ever, especially the way that they'd done their new gearing and progression. I was just like, oh god, I really don't like this. And mentally, I was sort of preparing myself to ditch a little bit. So I'm not happy about it. Obviously, it's kind of like the decision has been taken out of my hands now. I'm going to look to something like Whirlwind's Me, Ion 2, and just hope that I can survive until like Chrono Odyssey or Arcade Chronicles, because I think those games will be the most similar. But there's a lot more people to feel sorry for, right? Obviously, you got the devs, then you have some of the streamers, Trick, your boy Willie, etc. Baggins. He's already moved on to Guild Wars 2. He's not hanging around. Some of these people, they've built their livelihoods around the game, and you know, it's sad for them as well. So, you know, there's not much else to say. The servers are probably going to close. We'll be there for the last day. We'll come back. I will definitely not be. I watched Baggins' video, and he's like, I'll be there on the last day. I'll be doing a chess run. I will not be doing a chess run. But on one note, that's it now. This will be everything that we do. This channel is everything. We'll be doing those games. We'll be doing all of that content. And yeah, I'm sorry that I'm a bit tired. I'm sorry that this is a bit of a dour, sour, bitter video. And ultimately, for the MMO genre as a whole, it sucks, right? Like, we do not have that many like good big MMOs on the radar. There's a lot of Korean and Chinese MMOs, which some of them I'm optimistic about, some of them less so. But in the West, we have the Riot MMO, We have Guild Wars 3 and not much else. The ZeniMax 1, gone. Lord of the Rings, probably likely sounds like it's gone. And I mean, there's Ashes of Creation, and that's not really looking so hot right now. And I'm really not looking forward to bloody Stephen Sharif's tweets about it, but that's another thing, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's over, and I know a lot of you might literally just say, oh, it's deserved or what have you. But for a lot of us, it is an end of an era. And that sun is rising. I think there'll be a new dawn, but I think New World is getting sunset. I'm going to very quickly edit this and go to bed. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the viewers who've watched me with New World content. I appreciate you so much. And thank you to the devs. New World have been an amazing game, amazing value for money. The combat for me has been unlike anything, and the gameplay moments have been truly incredible at times. Yes, the game has had bugs and exploits and all that kind of stuff, and maybe if it was a little bit more polished and the engine was good to work with and all that kind of stuff, things could have been different, but it's gone the way that it's gone. Let's hope that the people who've lost their jobs find jobs, and let's hope AI doesn't take over and destroy us all. Okay, beautiful night. Goodbye.